Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Now we're going to be working on my BMW N47 powered 320D today, and we're going to be swapping out the entire drive belt kit. So on startup and for a good sort of few minutes, I am experiencing a squeak. Now I don't know if it's coming from one of the pulleys, the idler pulley or the tensioner. I believe it's coming from the tensioner if I had to say, or it could be coming from the belt itself. Now I know sometime in the past the crankshaft pulley, which is a common problem on the N47 engine for failing, and the belt was replaced, but I don't think the automatic tensioner and the idler pulleys were actually replaced. So I'm just gonna, refresh the entire drive belt kit. So we have a drive belt, automatic tensioner and 2 idler pulleys. Now I do have the complete kit from Gates. Gates are very good quality. Always like to use them when it comes to the drive belt. But yeah, like I said, we have the entire kit in here, so should be a fairly simple and easy job to do. But without further ado, let's get outside and let's get cracking. Now then, before we get started, let's fire the engine up to see if we can try and emulate the squeak that I'm getting when the engine is cold. Now to be honest, because the engine has already been running today, it isn't completely cold, so I don't think it is going to make that squeak. But did you notice how much the automatic tensioner was moving? I really don't think it's supposed to be moving that much, but we will see the difference when we install the new tensioner. Okay, let's get cracking then. So it's not completely necessary to do so, but I am going to remove this front air intake section here. It's only held in by 3 Torx 20 screws, just so I can get it out of the way and you'll be able to see a little bit easier what I'm doing. And then I just need to remove the main engine cover itself as well. Yeah, that's those 3 screws removed. It should lift off and out of the way. We will remove the main engine cover as well. And as we can see, we have much better access to the drive belt system. So what are we replacing today then? So of course, the drive belt itself, the automatic tensioner, which is this thing here. There is 1 deflection pulley, 1 here, and then another 1 down here. Now if you do have hydraulic power steering, you will have a hydraulic power steering pump here, but because this has electric power steering, we have this deflection pulley instead. So we will go ahead and remove the belt first. To do that, you just need to get a 16mm socket on the automatic tensioner and then rotate it clockwise. It should take the tension off the belt then, and you should be able to slip it off. There we go, should slide off now. As easy as that. You can remove the belt fully now. If you are unsure of the routing of the belt, it's a good idea to take a picture before so, but because I am fairly confident I know which way this goes around, don't need to do that. Next thing we will do then is remove the 2 deflection or idler pulleys. Now you just need to remove the cap off the front of them first, which should reveal the bolt that holds them in place then. There's your top cover removed. And there's the bottom cover removed. And as you can see, the 2 bolts are now revealed. They are both Torx 50 bolts. They should not be tight, so we'll just crack them loose with a ratchet. There's 1 crack loose, and there's the other crack loose. That is the top idler pulley removed then. And that is the bottom idler pulley removed. And now we can also go ahead and remove the automatic tensioner itself, which also takes a T50. This is done up quite a bit tighter though, so you may want to use the breaker bar for this. Should be cracked loose. Just do it by hand then. once the bolt is fully loose, you should be able to remove the tensioner itself. Is that a date on here? Is that 2018? Possibly. I mean, it doesn't really look that old, so there's a good chance that this could have been replaced in 2018. But anyway, this is the entire drive belt assembly now removed. So of course, the drive belt, automatic tensioner, and 2 idler pulleys or deflection pulleys. Okay then, let's not waste any time. Let's just get right on with installing the new drive belt kit in the exact opposite order to the removal. So when it comes to the installation of the new automatic tensioner, there is really only one way it can go, because as you can see, it has this notch on the end, and that needs to go into a hole on the engine block. Now if you have a look in there, the middle hole, that is for the bolt of course, but the second hole on the outer edge, that is where that notch needs to go into. And now we can start tightening it down. And then the bolt itself needs to be torqued down to 38 Newton meters. There we are. And now we can just proceed in installing the idler pulleys as well. So of course this is the top one, goes just above the automatic tensioner, and this is the one that goes right down at the bottom in replacement of the hydraulic power steering pump. And again we can start to tighten them down. And these 2 idler pulley bolts can both be torqued down to 19 Newton meters. There we are. And we can reinstall our caps just to keep them looking nice and shiny. And now what we can do is get our new drive belt installed. Now I really don't think there is a specific way that this needs to go around. I believe it is the exact same on both sides, but just to keep things simple, I am just going to keep it the same way that it came packaged like. So I'm not going to turn it inside out. So yeah, let's just get this thing installed now, and it should be pretty easy because we still have the pin in the automatic tensioner. We only remove that once we have the belt fully in place. Okay, so we'll start at the crankshaft pulley, and then we'll go around the automatic tensioner, and then around the water pump. Just got to sort this out as well. So this side goes from the crankshaft pulley over the top of the deflection pulley, and no, that's wrong, it goes under the deflection pulley and then over it, round the AC compressor, and then over the alternator. Okay, pretty confident that's on correctly. It still seems pretty tight onto the alternator. I guess once I take the tension off of the tensioner bolt, I should be able to slip it over then. There we are. A slight bit of slack in the belt, of course the tensioner pin is still in place. Just going to double check to make sure that we are inside all of the pulleys and sitting as it should. Yeah, we are looking good to me. So we can go ahead and remove the tensioner pin then. There we are. And then take the tension off. Or sorry, should I say put the tension on. And yeah, there we are. Drive belt should now be installed. And it still looks good, but again, it's always worth double checking to make sure it is sitting perfect on the pulleys. Because last thing you want is if you start this up for the first time and then you end up damaging the new belt. Okay then, before we reinstall the engine covers, let's get this engine fired up just to make sure we don't have any issues. Perfect, much better. As you can see, this new tensioner, it's not even moving now. The other one, the old one, was moving side to side like that. I think that automatic tensioner was our issue. But let's switch this off and then get the engine covers reinstalled. And with the engine cover and the front air intake now reinstalled, that is us, job done. Okay then, so there we go, another job done on the cheap BMW E93 series. The N47 drive belt kit has been completely replaced, and if you have an N47 engine and you have no history of the drive belt ever being replaced, you know, it's a good idea just to overhaul the entire kit. It's not that expensive, and honestly, you don't need to pay someone else to do this job. It's a pretty simple job. You can do it from start to finish in, what, less than an hour. You know, once you have the drive belt itself off, it's really just a case of removing a few bolts. Main thing is, do not over torque the bolts. Make sure you do it to specification. If you over torque the bolts, there's a chance that you can not only snap the bolts, but also, you know, cause a crack in your block, which obviously you don't want. But yeah, if you are doing this job yourself, just take your time and refer back to this video, of course, if you need to. But yeah, hopefully this video has been helpful. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Please give it a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you have not already done so, and I will see you all in that next one. Peace!